want to talk about making fires. The boys don't like fires. The most important part of getting a fire is to gather wood, gather everything together. I have a pile of birch bark, and I'll show you where I got that. In the forest, on old paper trees, you'll see a lot of paper hanging off, a lot of bark. And of course, this is great firewood, great starter. I just take my knife and I just kind of cut it off. I mean, this is plenty to start a fire. So I'm not peeling the tree. A lot of this is going to fall off in the next wind soon. So that's a huge and handy amount of tinder right there. Once you get your tinder, your fire starter, compress it down as much as you can. So that it burns for a while. It's the air inside that makes it a great fire starter. And then you can put that at the bottom of your fire and just pile wood on top of it, and it'll start. Now let's watch. Birch trees grow everywhere a fire's ever been. Excuse me, I'm in a video here. So the birch is pretty prevalent, and if you don't peel the bark, just rip it off, pull the direction it's going and not peeling it away, you won't hurt the tree. Somebody's chewing up my firewood. But you get your tinder, whether it's spruce twigs or little twigs. A lot of times you can find a lot of twigs. These would probably start just fine without the birch bark, but I'm going to throw the birch bark in there just to make sure, because it's a little on the damp side. It snowed the other day, and I want to make sure this lights for the video. But what are you doing? Get out of here. Get! And they're eating my firewood. So we've got enough. Well, we could just light this the way it is, but I want to make sure it happens. So we're just going to take this. This is a big pile of very small sticks. It's a bundle of sticks, otherwise known as a faggot. But these are very tiny, and they're all very dry. That usually, if you find little sticks that don't have much bark on them sticking up from the ground, they'll be dry enough to burn. Now, I just set those on top of the birch bark. And then to light it, I know a lot of people like to use flint and steel, but I don't think flint and steel is a good idea. Right here, this is the best survival item in the world. It's a Bic lighter, and I've got 7 of these around my camping equipment. One in my backpack, one in my shoulder pack, one in my fanny pack, 2 in the trailer, and then I have the long handled lighters for the stove. These are so much more reliable than flint and steel. Yeah, if you're fancy, you can start a fire with flint and steel, but when it's raining, it's cold, you don't know what you're doing, you're not really sure if you're doing it right, doing it wrong, or if it's just that you're upset and stressed. you always know when the Bic lighter is working. You know, you do it, you got flames. Get out of here. You have flames, you know. It's working. Bring it down, light the fire. Why mess with blowing, getting it going, making sure you have the right tinder and all that? How easy can that be? And that is a decent, easy fire. Because I've got another pile of wood back up here on the fireplace, which is much bigger sticks. And I could just throw that on there, and it'll probably catch. And maybe I'll do that. But for those of you that are OCD, you can just put that very carefully over the front. Break it shorter if you want. And just lay that where the fire is. And that'll keep both the heat into the fire, so the wood continues to burn and dry if it's got some dampness to it, or if what we call punky. Punky wood is rotten on the inside. But you can just put that up there like that. Ow. I don't usually start a fire camping because I got a stove. But I did this time just to show you, you know, how easy can it be? You know, you use a lighter once, and you know, I've got 1,000 lights out of this lighter before it runs dry. And people will say it'll freeze. Well, yeah, put it in your pocket. If the parts of your body next to your pockets are freezing, then you don't really need a lighter anyways. And then I've got my fire going. The next thing is to get bigger wood and add that to the fire. Just keep building the fire. But the fire's burning, and anything I put on there will now burn. So much for my fire tutorial.